Today, we first take you back to September 2009 when Typhoon Kansana, one of the strongest typhoons that the Philippines had faced in 40 years, swept through the country, causing massive damage in its wake. Following the typhoon in the hard-hit city of Marikina, Tzu Chi initiated what was to be the country's first cash for work program. That program, which mobilized over 84,000 people over 18 days, not only helped Marikina avoid an outbreak of infectious disease, but also gave its residents the hope and means to rebuild their homes and communities themselves. Now, 5 years on, following Typhoon Fengwang, volunteers have kicked off another cash for work program in the city of Marikina.
In September of 2014, Typhoon Fengwang barreled into the Philippines, causing massive flooding in the city of Marikina. Residents fled for their lives, finding shelter in schools that had been transformed into emergency shelters. Overnight, 400 families filled up this shelter in Marikina's Nangka district.
The bathrooms should be clean, but most people don't bother to clean up. However, we Tzu Chi volunteers know the necessity of cleanness and try to maintain it.
Marilyn, currently training to be a certified Tzu Chi volunteer, was among those that lost her home to Typhoon Fengwang. However, her primary focus remains on helping these refugees find a bit of comfort.
When Typhoon Kansana hit, I only cared about my own family. Now that I am a Tzu Chi volunteer, after this typhoon, I first found a safe place for my family and then went out to help others.
From recipient to giver, learning to give back to their community has also been this group of local volunteers. The start of this beautiful connection is rooted in a similar tragedy 5 years ago. On September 26, 2009, Typhoon Kansana, one of the strongest typhoons in the Philippines had faced in 40 years, swept across the country. From the air, Tzu Chi volunteers reviewed what was left of the city of Marikina. Once the floodwaters, which reached 1 story high in some areas, receded, mud and garbage choked the streets.
There was too much garbage there. We needed to get rid of it. Otherwise, there would be an outbreak of disease. So we started gathering volunteers and heavy machinery.
What followed was an intensive effort by Tzu Chi to clean up the city's streets, as well as to provide food, aid, and medical care.
Before 2009, we used distributions to bring aid to communities. However, following Kansana, the master asked us to start using cash for work programs instead.
Soon after, cash for work programs were set up in Marikina's Nangka, Malanday and Tumana barangays. Participants earned 400 pesos a day, cleaning up their own communities.
The first day, 32 came. At 5 p.m., we paid them. The next day, more arrived. On the 10th day, we had 10,000.
The cleanup, which lasted for 18 days, mobilized a total of 84,000 people, cleaned up a city, and left gratitude in the hearts of its residents.
Before work, we would first introduce our efforts, hold a prayer, and then get to work. At night, we would then allow them to share their feelings to help them realize how lucky they were. In that way, we try to inspire them.
3 months after the typhoon, Tzu Chi held a blessing ceremony in the Marikina Sports Stadium. Altogether, 25,000 came to participate and donate.
It was amazing to see that love was the springboard for our ideals, the Master's love and compassion, and the selfless work of the volunteers. It is one of the biggest strengths of Tzu Chi.
As candles lit up the night sky, residents were no longer disaster victims, but future bodhisattvas once and for all. Now, 5 years later, volunteers are back in Marikina with another Cash for Work program to clean up after Typhoon Fengwang. At the head of a long line of volunteers is a local volunteer from Marikina. Together, they are healing this land with love.